Hello.
Can you hear
You're
me okay?
you're very faint, but I can hear you.
That's strange because you're really loud in my ears.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can fix this a little bit.
I have my volume turned up over 100, so you should be very loud. But
Okay.
that's better. Getting there.
I didn't change anything, so okay. Let me get things set up here. So we're back on remote again today.
Sorry, my pop exploded. Yeah, Patty wanted me to stay here, so
Okay. Are you feeling bad or?
uh I actually feel pretty good, but she said that I was feeling bad. Hey, it's
Hello.
Steve.
Steve.
Sorry, I didn't mean to break things earlier. I
How did
think
you
I
break
might
things?
be breaking things.
You home today, Steve?
My Pepsi exploded all over me. I'm going to have to go get me a towel, I think.
So can you hear us okay, Steve? Steve? Steve?
Yeah, but my Pepsi exploded. Yep, I just have Pepsi everywhere. It's all right. My Pepsi just exploded.
Where?
All over the place.
You're not supposed to shake them before you open them.
Which make it wet?
Say, hi,
That's
everybody.
half the fun.
Hey, how you doing?
She ran off.
Yeah.
She wanted to see the exploded Pepsi.
Oh, okay. Ah,
So, what do you think you broke, Steve?
Well, I'm signed in as meeting presenter also.
Yes, I see
Renamed-
that.
I renamed my Zoom folder thinking that'd fix things, but it didn't.
Well,
It asked if I wanted to take over the meeting when I logged in.
it didn't even tell me that you were logging in, so that was kind of interesting. You know how it usually asks if to let people in?
Yeah.
You just showed up. I looked up and there you were. So maybe we didn't break Zoom after all. Maybe it just is designed to work like that.
I don't think so, but
No.
maybe.
I don't know.
So I got a cool toy. Actually, a pair of them. You know, I broke my other laptop. At the last Linux meeting, somebody showed up with a Evolve 3 Maestro.
Mm.
They're selling them as educational laptops at Micro Center for $60.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had to see a $60 laptop. Unfortunately, they didn't have any left at $60, but they had 6 of them that were open boxes marked down to $30. So I bought 2 of them.
Really?
And yeah, that's what I'm using right now.
I
About it's about the same specs as the thing I had before. It is not a powerhouse. I wouldn't want to compile a kernel on it, but yeah, does Zoom full screen, does Netflix full screen, and has really good battery life.
a lot of the ham radio guys were talking about it being a decent laptop, cheap laptop for field day and taking out into the
Mhm.
field. And if it gets damaged, it's $30
Yeah,
or
okay.
$60 or, not a huge loss. But they pretty much said the same thing. It's not the best thing in the world, but for the money, you can't really complain too much.
What's the CPU?
It's a Celeron. What is the CPU? Give me a second.
Yeah.
It's like a 3.5 watt mobile Celeron something or other. Take a
Okay.
Celeron, cut it in half. That's this.
You do, there is some latency a little bit with you, or it stutters a little. I don't know if Art saw it, but I saw it.
I saw some latency, but I thought that was from you.
I don't think that's me.
Okay. So the OS you're using, Steve, is?
Oh, Linux Mint.
Oh, okay.
It
The new
came
one
with
or
Windows 10. I
the
never
one-
let that boot.
the one that was just released a couple of days ago?
No.
21 point whatever it is was released, what, 3 days ago?
Well, it may be updating to that.
Let me take a look at distro watch.
It released, yeah, it was either yesterday or the day before. It
Yeah.
but they
Probably not a good time to download a new ISO.
they haven't let 20.3 update yet to it, so it's still I don't know what they're doing, but it says in their blog posting, it says update instructions will be coming soon. So
But
Yeah,
you
that's kind of a
but
generic always.
you can
Um,
download the ISO.
yes, you can download the ISO.
I'm running the Linux Mint 20.3 Edge version on this. I figured it might have support for the kind of odd networking. It doesn't.
Okay.
So I needed to use a little USB wireless adapter that got me online, did the install and everything, installed a PPA, one command to install the DKMS module, and now it's good. So it's going to be building that module in about a minute. So things ought to get interesting.
Meaning that you might disappear or what?
That's the little beast.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It's even more impressive for $30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They- I only got 2. I seriously considered getting 5. I don't know. It does what I want. I was even able to take the SD card out of my old machine, put it in here, and rebuild my home directory in 20 or 30 minutes.
Wow.
But yeah, little Celeron 3450, 4 gigs of RAM, 8 gigs or 64 gigs of drive. That is exactly what my old machine was. This one, I believe, has an NVMe interface, so I can put a faster drive in it.
Yep.
This is the first model. The second and third models didn't have that.
Yeah. That somebody said in one of the forum posts I was reading about that was one of the very first things they wanted to do was upgrade it to a 250 gig drive instead of the 64 gig drive. So
I'm surprised they would let you buy 2 rather than limit it to 1 per customer.
it actually says, or it said, limit 5 per household. They wanted to get rid of these stupid things, apparently.
Oh, excuse me. The dog got the carbon monoxide detector.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Got
The
No.
Micro Center, well, you probably know Micro Center clearances stuff out for school. School's getting ready to start again, so and they've advertised these as educational replacements for Chromebooks or something.
Well, it's interesting. It says that the operating system it comes with is Windows Education Pro. I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of Windows Pro and Windows Home and so forth, but
I think it comes with a 60-day license for Office 365, which is long enough for you to get enough stuff on there that you might pay for it afterwards.
Not me.
No.
That's long enough for me to go, nope.
well, you can always
It
put
never fully booted Windows.
you can always put one of the free Office clones on it, which I use all the time anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm not happy with paying Microsoft any extra.
Yeah, we just my dad finally decided that since he was sending documents everywhere and people couldn't read the documents, and they kept saying, well, just put LibreOffice on there so we could read your documents. We finally decided maybe we should install LibreOffice on his computer.
Well, isn't that automatically installed with Mint?
It is, but he's on Windows 10 still because he's dad. So
I see. Okay.
But that's all right. He's coming around to accepting the idea that what I told him 5 years ago about putting OpenOffice on there or LibreOffice on his laptop. Oh yeah, maybe we need to do that. Yeah, I think so.
What do they gouge you for Windows Office these days or Microsoft Office these days?
I don't know. Luckily, when he bought his computer, I still had a copy of Office 2010 or something like that. So I was able to just stick the retail version of 2010 on it for him. Which admittedly, I mean, it's old. It was old when I stuck it on there, but it saved him money.
Well, the problem with using anything but the pro version is that it doesn't have the database system on it. And if you use Access a lot, I've got one client who somehow or another, pardon,
LibreOffice has a database.
but it isn't the same as Access. It is not compatible with Access. So
That's true.
you cannot read an Access file. I got a client that must have, I don't know, 1,000 Access. Every time they do a lot of medical stuff, and every time they do something, they spin up a new instance of Access, and so they've got tons of Access. What happened to Jim? He tried to get on, and then
I don't know. Jim's having issues.
so at any rate, if you need Access, you kind of, if you absolutely need Access, you absolutely need Microsoft Office. It's
Yeah.
just the way it is.
Fortunately, Dad did not need Access, so
Yeah, most people don't. So of the various apps in the Microsoft Office suite, that's one that almost nobody uses, but
yeah.
occasionally you run into somebody who does, and when you need it, you need it. Now, yes, LibreOffice does have a database on it, and I think it's MySQL, isn't it, Steve?
No, it's SQLite by
Oh,
default.
okay.
You can connect it to anything you want, but if you're just doing normal stuff, it acts like Microsoft Access and does just a SQLite database. It's pretty straightforward.
Uh-huh.
And it isn't particularly hard to convert a Microsoft Access database to run in OpenOffice or LibreOffice.
Yeah, it's not difficult, but when you got a couple of thousand of them to convert, it's and you've got people whose level of skill is you move an icon from one side of the screen to the other, they're totally confused. The training curve alone is problem. So anyway,
And that's the real problem. I had a
yes.
doctor's appointment this morning, and my doctor was astounded that I didn't know what medications I'm on. I don't know. I don't care. It's her job to figure them out and give them to me. She's sitting here at a computer, and I asked her how many DMA channels it had. She looked at me like I just poked her in the eye. I'm like, I spend 30 minutes twice a year with the doctor. You spend 8 hours a day with the computer. Why do you expect me to know your profession and you don't know mine? It was a fun doctor's appointment.
I was going to say, of the people in my life that I would piss off, my doctor or my dentist would be two at the bottom of the list. Okay.
I don't
Anybody
think I pissed her off,
anybody making my food, I don't want to piss off.
right?
Yeah,
My doctor, okay, maybe not.
well, as you age, your doctor becomes more and more important. So you tend to treat them with grace.
No.
My first, the one that I had for 30 years, get this, is now pushing pills in the great by and by. I outlived him. Um, so I got a new one. Somebody said to me that In life, you want a young doctor and an old lawyer. You want a lawyer who has lots and lots of experience and very adept at playing the system, and a doctor who knows the latest stuff. So now I've got a doctor who's probably, I guess he's not 40 yet. So he's sort of barely in practice at this point. Oh, Jim, how you doing?
Wow. Hey,
How you doing?
I'm having fun. I just came in from tinkering with one of the cameras, putting a telephoto lens on it.
This is one of the Rios or something else?
It's one of my older ones. I replaced the lens on it with a higher power lens, and now I'm looking for an even more higher powered lens. My 8x power, I want more power.
Is this zoom or is this just fixed focus?
Oh, I was putting a zoom on it, but looks like I may have to go to a fixed focus. There is another zoom I might try, but I really want to go higher than my zooms go, I think. I think what?
Is this for your bird watch camera?
No, I'm using the wire-free camera on the Hummingbird. This is for a car. I need something I only have 8 power. I need at least 16 millimeter, I think. So I got some lenses. I just got the box out. I was looking through them, see what I got.
These bayonet on, or are they screw on, or how do they fasten on?
Well, most of them, it's a surface mount image chip, right?
Yeah.
So it's got a little plastic adapter, and the plastic adapter is threaded to a standard size, the standard cable TD size, or not cable, CCTV, whatever it is. And I've got a set of those. So you just unscrew them and screw the one you want to try in. But the problem with the zoom is the night LEDs, the lights, were getting in the way of the adjustments. So I had to take the LEDs off of it, which is fine for this old camera because they don't work anyway. So I've been messing with those teeny tiny screws, and my my stroke last year, my left hand's not that great. So it's been entertaining. I've refrained from using any French on it thus far.
Usually those little screws are the ones that go bing and end up in the carpet someplace and you never, ever find them.
Exactly. I dropped them twice and found both of them. That's amazing.
Hey, it's time to buy a lottery ticket there, Jim.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you see the Bosch series on TV?
I did not.
Yeah, they have a new network. It's called Free V, FREEVEE, and they have the Bosch series. It looks like it's new. I don't know where it came from. It's decent too. It's not horrid like NCIS and stuff. So I bet
Bosch has been on the Amazon channel for a long time.
Oh, okay. And
But
now
I don't know if they have the latest ones on or not. All I know is that they were on Amazon for a long time, and I've watched the most recent one, I thought.
So I watched season 1, episodes 1 and 2, I think. So it's probably them. That's probably them.
I think they're up like through on Amazon Prime. I think they're up through something like 10. I seem to remember. But the thing that I find confusing about the Connolly novels is when they went to TV, the episodes don't quite match the books.
Yeah, well, right.
So there's a lot of places on the TV episodes where they're kind of a mix of two different books.
Yeah.
And since I've read all the books, I find them, don't they know this is coming? Blah, 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 kind of thing. So,
Well, I recognize the story, I recognize the plot, and it's going along, but you're much more meticulous than I am.
well, I don't know about that, but the ones that, what I like of the Connolly novels, though, I like the Lincoln Lawyer series.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
I find those particularly, that's his brother or his
Yeah.
half brother.
Okay.
So
Well, hey, Steve,
Greetings.
fancy seeing you here. Sitting in front of
Sometimes.
the fireplace, enjoying the fire, yeah.
Yep, this is the bedroom.
Oh, okay. She won't let you out of the bedroom now?
What?
oh,
She won't let you out of the bedroom now?
It's the quietest room.
Oh,
The puppy had been in here earlier, but she ran away.
cool. Well, it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
How you doing, Leroy?
I am all right. Patty says I'm not, but I say I am.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's her, yeah. Yeah. You need you need a party that will take either side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need somebody, ask somebody on our side.
I got that persistent cough back, which, that's something that I've had for years. That was something I had before COVID. But I think I don't know what happened. I think it's because we're sleeping in drafts again, and she gets hot. She makes it super cold in the house. So I freeze to death most of the night because she pulls the blankets off because,
she's cold.
she's cold, but she's hot.
Separate blankets. I strongly recommend separate blankets.
Yeah,
Now, in winter, we usually do that. We usually have 2 or 3 blankets that we'll start off with 3, and then we'll end up with 1 each or something like that. And 1 will be on the floor. So summertime, not so much, but I found her, she had flipped around, and she was sleeping with her head at the foot of the bed a couple of nights ago. And I'm like, what are you doing? She was like, it's warmer down here, or it's colder down here. And I'm like, it's the same. I mean, it's
The same air.
yeah, you're 3 foot different, maybe. I don't know. It's the same.
yeah, it could be a breeze or something. I just got a egg crate foam cover for our bed, and it's helping me out a little bit, make it a little less pain and sleep on it. The bed was a little, I usually like a hard bed, but I think I need a place for my hip to go,
Yeah.
my shoulder to go. It seemed to help a little bit.
Yeah. I've
Is this a mattress topper you're talking about?
Yeah,
ah,
yeah, I got the 3-inch. 3-inch is a little thick, but okay, I went for the 3-inch one. They have the foam, squishy foam stuff.
yeah.
It does seem to help.
I considered buying IKEA sells foam toppers, and I've considered buying one of those a couple of times.
Yeah, I had a 2-incher that I had for years that I missed it when it was gone. And we got a foam bed. Now I got a foam bed with a 3-inch foam topper. Pretty good.
Yeah. My let's see. Patty likes feathered pillows, which I think we've only been able to find them at IKEA lately. But I used to have one of those egg crate foam pillows, and that thing was great. I loved that pillow. I don't know
did
what
too.
happened to
I
that
had one I
pillow.
got from Walmart. It was one of the best pillows I ever had.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that pillow. That
I
pillow,
left it in a hotel.
Sounds like, sounds
That's
like.
not me now. That sounds like Vicente.
Bring me your cow.
Maybe he's hungry.
Pardon.
well, we've had visitors from puppies, and we've had visitors from grandkids now.
Yeah.
And we've had a Pepsi explode.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You don't wanna. That's a full house, so to speak.
I my little project.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I set the bases up around the house pretty far apart from each other, as far as part away as I could get them inside the little apartment, and it was changing the grid numbers. The grid numbers were actually showing definite changes. So I think that's the problem. The map is just too small for it.
Yeah.
And
Well, at what was it, 10 centimeters? That
Yeah.
was right on, that's right on the limit of the spec anyway, I think, isn't it?
yeah. Well, it should have changed a little bit more, but I mean, everything was so close. It was, the whole thing, all three sensors were within 70 centimeters of each other or something like that. I mean, it was
What you,
just too close.
what you need to do is find a basketball court someplace that's vacant and put the 4 corners in, and that would probably work really well.
Well,
And you wouldn't have any interfering objects in the middle or whatever.
when me and Vicente were working on the that bigger robot with Mark, we went to Trenton Public Library and Middletown Public Library in their community rooms, and their community rooms are huge and open. So I'm thinking that's probably what I need to do is book that room again and go down there and set up some markers that say, 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters or whatever, and see if I can't get it to actually work. But the community room down there in Westchester always seems like it's booked, but the ones in Trenton and Middletown hardly ever seem like people are booking those for anything. I can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
There you go. What happened?
That's That's weird.
That was
Well, I
weird.
had muted myself for a moment, but I'm unmuted now, so I don't know, maybe it takes a while once you unmute before. I think that may have been what happened in the beginning there, is that I came off of mute and you couldn't hear me for a while, and then all of a sudden you could hear me.
Yeah, that makes sense, sort of.
So
Cool.
where's Trenton anyway? The only Trenton I know is in New Jersey. It's the capital. It's the capital of New Jersey.
I am
and,
not driving to New Jersey to play with robots.
no, I know, but I don't know where Trenton, Ohio is.
It is southwest of Middletown.
You know, over along the border, the Indiana border.
No, not quite that far. You know where Monroe is?
Well,
It might be just easier just to pull a map.
About 8 miles from Middletown.
Yeah, it's not. State Route
It's
73, Excello Route 4.
so it's close to Middletown.
It's close to Middletown.
Okay. Okay.
You are not here.
I am here in Franklin,
Yeah.
and I lost it. Where to go? Middletown. We cruise down Middletown and then West Middletown. And Trenton is this area right here.
Okay.
So just stay 73 to Route 4. Route 4, you could pick 73 back up and it goes right in the middle, right into Trenton.
So it's way north of Westchester then.
Yes, it is north of Westchester.
Okay.
It is southwest of Middletown, but not far.
Okay.
And the Trenton Public Library sits back over in here.
Okay.
Over
I
in
guess I
here.
never realized there was a Trenton in Ohio.
Yep.
When I lived in New Jersey, like in the mid-70s, we used to go to Trenton for seafood restaurants. They had some great seafood restaurants. And it's right on the Delaware River between New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Okay. So you guys getting any weather?
Hot weather.
No particular rain or storms or whatever?
It stormed a little yesterday.
Supposed to rain a lot tomorrow.
What does it say? From Midpoint Library in Middletown to Midpoint Library in Trenton, it is 6 miles.
Oh, so they're all part of the same library system as the Midpoint in Westchester.
In
then.
Westchester, yeah.
Okay.
And from Westchester, it
Weird to have multiple
is
public libraries in county.
and they're getting ready to open another one. It's 15 miles from Westchester.
Okay, and pretty close to straight north. Okay.
Pretty much.
This
It's-
this corner of Ohio, in spite of the fact that I lived the first 24 years of my life in Ohio, this corner of Ohio, I never got to except to drive through it going someplace else.
Yeah. Well, this corner of Ohio is, I mean, you end up at the big cities, right? Westchester and Middletown and Hamilton, they all kind of start to merge together after a little bit. I mean, you drive in one direction, you're going to hit one of those towns, especially if you're in Butler County. So it's not entirely, Trenton Library is not all that far from Westchester though. But they have a huge community room that people don't use. And Middletown's the same way. They have a huge community room that people don't use. So
Well, Westchester uses their community rooms.
a lot.
Those are, it's got two of them. I don't think they connect. I think they're side by side, but I don't think they connect.
Oh no, the one wall will move. They can turn it into one big community room.
Okay.
So
And they are almost always booked. I've been to several things there.
Yep.
I've been to a genealogy group there several times, but I noticed when we're there, basically they're booked pretty much all the time.
Middletown's community room is about the size of one half of the large community room in Westchester. So it's about the size of one of those rooms. They've got movable walls in there too, so they could split it apart and turn it into two smaller community rooms.
Uh-huh.
But it's not nearly as convenient for them to do it because there's only one entrance. There's only one door to get in there.
I would think the fire marshal would have something to say about that. But if you could book that for an hour or so, you could set up in there and test the whole thing,
Yeah.
I would think.
Well, we were using that to test that hover wheel robot out because it's big and I could drive that hover wheel robot around all over the place in there. So I think that's what I need to do is print out some grid numbers and lay them out on the floor and just let it go and see if it's anywhere close to being what I think it should be. Put my
Either
put my
that or
sensors up in the corners and be done with it.
Either that or set it up in a parking lot someplace where there aren't any people.
Yeah. But the library, the community room in Trenton is a decent sized community room, and it has, I don't think it's got movable walls, but it has a kitchenette in it. So if you had to do a party or something, you could book that and have a little kitchenette thing with you. They have a door leading to the outside, but they don't want people to use that because it'll set alarms off.
So, Jim,
Yes,
I saw this article that you just put in the chat,
yeah,
and it's, as I recall the detail, the guy was switching from Spectrum to T-Mobile.
yeah, I believe that's correct.
So,
It looks like it's getting more viable. and cheaper.
So that's completely wireless. You don't need to bring that in through your router then?
No, you get a box, and it's like a modem, but it's a modem to cell phone basically, and it does have a router in it, but it's a pretty dumbass box. So you probably end up like this guy. He just connected it to his router. That's what I did to Spectrum when they brought their box in here. Oh, ours has Wi-Fi on it. Nope. I jumped it over to my router. Thank you very much.
My Spectrum, I'm still using the Spectrum router, although next time I'm out there, that's gonna go away.
Well, you need the modem out of it. It's easy just to jump her over to your router, and it's not a big, it's not over it like this guy says. He didn't notice much difference, and you won't.
Well, I have a modem and a router from
Oh.
Spectrum.
Oh, okay.
I had 2 boxes from Spectrum.
Oh, okay.
And what I plan to do is to retire their router, use their modem,
Oh, okay.
and put in a new router. I put in a new Asus router here in California, which I'm pretty happy with now. The one that I had was something like 11 years old, and it was starting to have problems, but also in the meantime, I've got about 25 more nodes than I had originally. I got all kinds of IoT stuff and so forth and so on. And I don't think that router from 10, 12 years ago was real happy juggling all those nodes. So I got a new one, and so far,
I just ordered a new filter for the HVAC, and it's Bluetooth.
Really?
Yep, the Filtrete 2200 comes with Bluetooth.
Huh.
So when the filter gets busy, it's supposed to tell you. Not people are kind of crabbing about it a little bit, which doesn't surprise me, because you're putting a Bluetooth inside an aluminum box or a metal box. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is.
So they're saying now that chicken pox may cause Alzheimer's.
Chicken pox?
Yep. It's you have to read the story, but it's not directly, but this affects that, which if you drink in your old age, it has a tendency to weaken you, and those viruses can cause Alzheimer's. This is all hypothetical stuff, but it looks like they're finding stuff that causes the plaque. Has something to do with the herpes virus. I think the chicken pox may be herpes variants.
Well, the chicken pox is a form of herpes.
Okay.
That whole class of viruses includes everything from the mouth sores to the genital herpes to chicken pox to what's the other one that you get as an older person?
Oh yeah, the sores. What is
No,
that?
I'm talking about there's one that they caution you to get in
Shingles.
Yeah.
shingles, yes. which is related somehow or another to the fact that you had chicken pox as a kid.
Yeah.
Go figure. So my wife got very excited about this a few years ago, so we had to go off and get shingles. Apparently, it's quite uncomfortable if you actually get shingles. So theoretically, we're now protected. We'll see.
Officially, I mean, I want to make this official. Do not say anything about shingles around Kenny. Okay.
Oh, he's at it?
Yeah, unless you got 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He had a good case
Oh, boy.
years ago.
Okay.
But one out of 3 people that had chicken pox is going to have shingles. I've already had the shots.
Yeah, I did too. I had the, but I didn't have any kind of a vaccination for chicken pox when I was a kid. When I was a kid, you got chicken pox, you got over it, period. All of these childhood vaccines they have now, mumps, measles, rubella, so forth and so on, none of those things. I got the real thing. And I remember with chicken pox, the one thing you had to do was not pick the scabs. You had and it was very itchy, as I recall.
Yeah, all you
So-
had to do is tell me once. Ha ha ha, that's humor.
Yeah. So I I remember my younger sister had chicken pox, and she got a big scab right on the end of her nose. And my mother practically tied her hands behind her because she was worried that my sister had scar her face forever. And of course, you know, that was a big deal because, you know, had to maintain her beauty and so forth and so on. What's that?
That's my telephoto lens. That's a 12. I have a 12X. That may do it.
And that just screws onto the same fixture, the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it has built right in. It has the end of it, the eyepiece screws right in.
Huh. So how much do those go for?
Now, these are relatively cheap. There's like $10, I think, something like that. Now, I just worked with the other one. Let me see if this one has the screw and piece on it. It does. I don't know if that's the same size or not, but it looks like it might. But it's a screw-in piece on the eyepiece end.
Oh, okay.
And the other one I got was a little shorter than this one.
So that was 12X, right?
Yeah. And it's a zoom, and they have 2 adjustments on it.
Now this is a manual zoom, I'm assuming. This is not an electronic zoom.
Right.
Okay.
It has a manual zoom and a manual focus.
Okay.
So you got to play with how tight it's screwed in, and then you got to zoom to the distance that you want, and then you got to focus it, and then try to tighten everything down. And how tight it's in depends on where the focus is. But it's not too bad if you have 3 hands and you hadn't had any setbacks, any strokes or anything. It's probably pretty easy.
So this is an eBay purchase?
Whoever the cheapest was, usually it's eBay. let's see if I can find one real quick. It's that everybody sells that particular device. You see it every way. And they sell the lenses too.
Oh, Vicente.
There's the other one I have. Okay, the other one I had out there, I recognize it. It's a 12 millimeter, 2.8 to 12. That's not very big enough. So I'm gonna have to take this Bohica out there.
How you feeling, Vicente?
Hello, you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I had problem with the passcode to join the meeting.
Uh-oh.
Passcode?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a passcode.
There's a passcode.
Yeah, I had, something got pasted over the passcode number. Yeah, I just fixed that in the original.
Okay, there was a link to a YouTube video
Yeah,
instead of passcode, but I use the former one, the last one, and it works.
right.
The
I
same
fixed
one.
that I fixed that in the original document because I ran into the same thing.
Okay.
I think that passcode has been the passcode since we've been on this version of Zoom.
Yeah, there's been a passcode for it's the same link.
It's the same, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
So you feeling better this week, Vicente?
Yeah. I'll be working in the backyard, and everything is fine now.
Good.
Feel better. Thank you.
Well, I was telling everybody before you got here, I did verify it's definitely too small on that map. That map is just not right.
Small, okay.
Yeah. I put the bases. I put the bases around the house as far apart as I could get them and walked around the house, and I can't verify that the grid was right because I don't really know, but it was changing the grid numbers. So.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to get try to get like the community room at Middletown Library one day next week.
Okay. Using the corners of the room?
Yeah. Or two corners, kind of make a triangle out of it or something, because it's three bases. But I think I'm going to try to get like the community room either in Middletown or Trenton and see if I can't actually make it work.
Right.
Because it should work. I actually saw, you know how Ray had said about using these for like the trash can transport or a lawnmower or something. I saw a guy who set his yard up to use these for lawnmower. So
Right.
I'm like, okay, they work. Just got to figure out how to get it to work.
I think that with bigger scale will be okay.
Yeah, it seems like it. The more, the further away, the further apart it seems like I can get them, the better it actually seems like it is. So I think I was just trying to make everything too small.
Fit in the table.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to find something to do with that nice grid map that I've printed. So anybody got any ideas?
Well, consider a dartboard or
Again,
Uh, you remember years ago, I had RFID tags on a grid, and I had a robot
Mhm.
that would do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Might try that again. That might be
Okay.
an update. Actually use that little guy, do an
Okay,
update of that or something.
Okay. Yeah.
how did it work with RFIDs?
The other row, it was a bigger platform. But I had an RFID reader under it, about midpoint under it. And so that one, I had to have it sitting in a certain orientation. It was a 2-wheeled robot. It had to start a certain direction, but it would read the tag that it was sitting at, and then it would figure out which direction, left, right, forward, reverse, that needed to move from there, because it knew it was facing north, or it knew it was facing 0 degree relative.
So now with an RFID, what's the physical range on an RFID?
The hobby grade ones, you have to get pretty close to them to read them, but there's theoretically, I mean, the map could be any size. It's just a question of how much memory you've got in your processor. Because I actually physically mapped the RFID tags inside the build a grid inside the sketch. So there were like 20 tags or whatever, and I put all those tags
Okay.
in the array. So it knew where the tags were at physically, and it knew where it started at, so it could move anywhere.
So
This
the
one,
the
if-
RFIDs are passive, are they not?
Mm-hmm.
They're basically a transponder.
They the reader like activates them, and yeah, it's pings back like a number. They can do all kinds of stuff. Some of them are programmable, so you could program data into them, so that you could actually give a little bit more than just a number off of them. And then they work on different frequencies. So like the library used to use RFID to track their books. That's how, when you walked out and you didn't check that book out, it would sound the
Set off
alarm. So, but they were using a slightly different frequency, and their bars were further apart and a lot more power to read that stuff. So I'm not real sure why they got rid of that system, actually. But with this, I was thinking, if I would do this basic sketch the same way, put all the tags, in and make like a map. But since this can move left and right and forward and back, it's going to have a slightly different algorithm, because I could actually make it so that it would still find the tag that it was looking for if it was sitting in any orientation. If it was facing this direction, or if it was facing this direction, or if it was facing backwards, it could still find the tag that it was looking for. So I would have to use a slightly different method of figuring that out, but it probably would need to actually read 2 tags. Like you know, the first tag that it was sitting on, and then move forward to the next tag, and then it can figure out what its orientation is. But see, that would only work if it was not on the edge. If it was on the edge of the map and it moved off, then it would never read another tag. So it would have to know that this tag is at least on the edge. So maybe it moves this direction. But I think it would have to read at least 2 tags to actually know where it's at.
Maybe you can use a compass last time to know which direction you can go after read the tag.
I think the C+ might actually have a compass built into it. Maybe I could use it as a. The other that first robot that I did that with, that's how I was steering it, was with a compass. I was using the compass to actually steer it. That took a little. It's got an IMU, but it doesn't have a compass. Okay. Figure it out. I want to, there's too many things again. I want to do a lot of stuff.
I thought this chip you're using now had a GPS built in.
Which one?
The one that you are using now. That one.
That one?
Yeah. No GPS.
No. No, I could hook a GPS up to it. Actually I can't. I think the GPS unit uses I2C and this uses serial. So we'll figure it out.
Your tags are stickers, or
I'm going to have, I used to have a bunch of those things. I don't know what happened to them. So I'm going to have to order some more.
I am looking at some in Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Let me share the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see it?
Yep.
This is 50 pieces for 15 bucks.
Yeah. They've got expensive.
Yeah, but they are 50 pieces.
50 pieces. That's
50
not
pieces.
very expensive.
Yeah. No.
I'm almost positive that I only spent $8 for like 50 of them.
Okay. Yeah. Another.
Well, it's inflation. What can you do?
I know.
35,
Pre-COVID.
10, 80, 86.
Yeah, see, I'm going to have to look because mine, I don't remember what frequency that was on.
I think it's 125.
Yeah, I think it's 125.
Yeah.
So
Kilohertz. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are they're adhesive backed or what?
just stickers, yeah.
Yeah, stickers. They are really flat. And operates at this is different. This one operates at 13 megahertz. This is the other
Yeah.
one, right? Look here.
Yeah, 13 megahertz, 13.56 is one of the unlicensed frequencies.
Yeah. My reader is 13.56.
Okay, so you need something like this. Okay.
So
But some of them you were looking at there, Vicente had like 125 kilohertz.
Yeah. This one is 50 pieces. This is different frequency. I don't know.
uh,
50 pieces of this is MTAG 250. This is another one, another frequency. One inch diameter.
yep. 50 of them for $12. That's a little better.
So that's a quarter a piece. That's 2 bits a piece.
Per prof can be. But you need to check your sensor to figure out which one.
I've got an RFID question offhand. Does anybody know what frequency dog tags are?
No. For your
They have RFID on dog tags.
They chip dogs.
Oh. You don't mean the kind that hang on a chain around your neck.
Right. Yeah. Our puppy's going to get tagged pretty soon, and I want to put in a pet door. And I'd kind of like to be able to lock it.
The thing is, you do have to be pretty close to read it, you know.
especially the 13, the one for the Arduino. It's a pretty low powered system. I thought I had an RFID reader.
So where does the dog get tagged? Where is the little chip put?
I'm pretty sure it's in the back of her neck.
Uh-huh.
It's a capsule, right? A tiny capsule.
I was thinking you could just put a bigger antenna on one of the readers,
Yeah.
make a loop that the dog walks through.
Yeah, the reader just send the power, RF power, to a coil inside the tag to generate the power for answer back.
So basically this chip is passive. It is a transponder. It responds to a signal that it receives from some external device. Is that the way it
Yes.
works?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it reads back a memory chip.
A number or something.
It's a number. It reads a number.
So then that
But
gives the identity of your dog, or
well, the
Well,
number,
the dog chips have more information, a lot of your address, your phone, the dog, I don't know, treatments or anything.
No,
the number,
it's just a serial number.
Just a
then they
number
look
and
up-
it's registered in somewhere and you can check the.
check
Or
the
the-
data?
or
the number is stuck in a database somewhere, and you just go to that
Okay.
database
And you check your dog info, okay.
and you
So
can
if the
check.
dog gets lost or runs away or whatever, and somebody
Yeah.
finds it, you can then identify it and get it back and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
But depending on the tag itself, some of the tags can hold additional information, not just the number. Some tags do actually hold quite a lot of information. So
So
And I
that
thought-
information isn't in the database, it's actually in the tag itself.
it's on the tag, yeah.
Hmm.
And you need the right reader to be able to read that, but you know, swear I had an M5 stack RFID reader. And now I don't see it.
I have one, but I don't know where.
Hmm.
Same problem. No, maybe in a drawer in the basement somewhere.
It the they even make different kinds of within the same frequency, like the Arduino readers are like Mayfair, use Mayfair chips,
Tags.
Mhm.
and that it can read. I think it can read anything in the same frequency range, but
Let me check.
the Mayfairs are the ones that it supports 100%. And I think that was the original spec. I don't think that was the.
So does
I'm
this
seriously
mean that?
considering,
Go ahead.
sorry, I'm seriously considering getting myself chipped. You can get programmable, people safe chips. And I know what I need for work. I'm seriously thinking about it.
What? So this would allow you to open the doors and so forth and so on without a card?
Yes, yes.
So do they do it the same way they do with dogs, where they just inject it through the skin, or are they actually surgically insert it?
No, it's, they come in a big hypodermic needle.
Okay.
For people, you go to a tattooist and get them inserted.
Okay.
And they hurt like hell.
I was gonna say,
Gail just had me done. I don't know.
this is so she can track where you're going there, Jim?
Yeah.
That's a, oh,
Doot, doot.
It looks like that lens, the threaded part is a standard size, Art. It's like M12. Yeah.
0.5 thread, okay.
And there also there's a M25 also, a couple of sizes.
I'm assuming the M25 is for a much bigger chip, right?
I don't think I have anything that size, no.
You know, that's about an inch. And I'm pretty sure old Canon stuff was 60 millimeters.
Nikon's, I think, were some strange number like 58 millimeters, something of that sort.
Yeah,
They were just enough difference that they were not interchangeable with anybody else.
They do have some cheap motorized ones. I'm surprised, but you know, you still got to drive the motor, or it might as well be manual. For my purposes, the manuals are fine.
well, if you're starting with the PTZ camera, it'll have a place to hook up the motor.
Well, yeah, but my cameras don't have places to hook up a motor. I don't have any of them that are motorized. that had the controller. Except my four power says it's 8 power. I don't believe it. That's the only motorized one I've got.
You found it, Vicente.
There they are.
I found something.
NFL stands for National Football League. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is the. Yeah, I have a sensor board.
Yeah.
on the back. This is an attack from Disney. Like,
I've got one of those. I found it in a car I bought.
What do you use it for at Disney?
to hop between parks, you have your ticket in your wrist, and you go from park to park with the same using just this in your hand, you know.
So does it expire after a certain
And you
time?
can use it to get your soda. And
Yeah, this is your code for the day or whatever. And you can reload or buy anything or whatever with this.
So is this linked with a credit card, or how does that work?
I think so. Well, you can use those in the cruises, Disney cruise, to buy stuff also. I think it's your guest number, and you have an open account somewhere. So this is another.
everybody in your party has one. So if somebody gets
Yeah.
lost, even if they're too young to tell who
yes.
they are, they can get scanned and the park police can come find you.
This is another
okay.
sensor.
What's that coil of wire? Is that like an antenna or something?
Yeah, it's an antenna to.
Yeah, that's. If you look at the other sensor that it's got, the coil wire is on the board and
Yeah.
not separate.
This one is in the PCB, in the coil is in the board.
It's hard to see, but
Yeah. So this is the 125 kilohertz, or is
Nope.
this
13,
13.86 or 0.56? Excuse me.
5.6, something like
Yeah.
that.
I have all these cars have the same technology.
Yeah,
I was collecting them.
I've got a stack of those cards somewhere too. Probably with my RFID reader.
I'm sure I bought a programmer also, but it's in another box somewhere. No, the one you can change the codes and everything. This is the.
Yep. See, you can actually make out the coil. It's right there. It's embedded in the
Yeah, in the board.
board.
This is another one.
Yeah.
This is
This was back when we were playing with RFID a lot, weren't we?
look. This
I've
is
got stacks of this stuff too somewhere.
2017.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not open.
I've got stacks of this
You're in
stuff
the
too. look here, M5 has an RFID unit 2 I2C model,
Okay.
$5 that they're out of stock, but it will read the card, write the card, recognize the card, and record the card.
Okay,
Wow.
this one is rewrite table. You see?
Okay.
It's 5 of them. A 25 kilohertz.
There
Uh-huh.
you go. From 2018. Brand new, never taken out of the package.
Fresh.
Now the RFID doesn't have a battery or anything built into it, so you got nothing to go bad, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a capacitant coupling deal. So
So it's
the coil
I think
coil
it's-
makes
it's
the power and it
it's-
transfers it into the
it's-
coil that's inside the chip,
Yeah,
inside the tag,
it's a transformer using the error.
and it
It's
goes
a-
like that. Yes,
So-
it's like a
the ta-
transformer.
So the tag is passive.
No
The
power.
reader's active. The reader needs power,
The reader needs the power.
but the tag doesn't. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So you pass that tag right through the coil,
Close. Yeah.
or as close to the coil, and it gets power real fast, and there's like a little tiny chip in there that doesn't need a whole lot of power, and it just zaps back, and the reader can read the number real fast.
It selectively shorts out the ID tag itself selectively shorts out its own antenna, and the transmitting antenna senses the change in load.
Neat stuff.
So you said that the libraries don't use that for their books anymore?
They took the readers out, so I don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
They're
But,
barcode now.
It's a
They always use the barcode.
It's a trust system.
Yeah, I
They-
think
they
it's.
trust
I
you.
think
That's it.
I think they've gone with the trust system. They've always used barcodes for inventory and to check out. Well, not always, but they've used barcodes for a long time. The RFIDs are theft control.
But the books still have the RFIDs because we use the machine to register when you want to pick up them to take them out. But there is no any system checking that you are taking out books or whatever.
Mhm.
Well, it still
There is for
beeps.
Hamilton County. You can set a whole stack on one of the readers and it reads them all at the same time. It's pretty impressive.
So it takes care of the checkout process?
Yeah,
I think that there is a system for supermarkets that you pass your card and all the stuff inside is just scanned simultaneously. Supermarket or a store or something that you can check all your items simultaneously, passing through a door or something, a portal.
So this is the substitute for the person sitting there barcode scanning every item.
Yeah,
then? Okay.
money time, is peanut time.
Oh, you got a new batch of peanuts, huh?
Yeah.
Look here, Vicente. 4D
System.
systems screen for something that I bought at Micro Center probably 2017 or so. Probably did not pay much because they were clearancing it out, and it is set in the box forever. I don't think I've ever used the stupid thing. And here's a HMI and a Nextrin HMI. Oh, look, it's still sealed.
What size is that?
I
2.5
don't-
inch or so?
2.4 or something.
What does it say?
Yeah, I don't know.
2.4. Yep.
This is the one that has the microcontroller included.
Yes,
And
yes.
You
this-
download your sprites and your stuff, your
Yep.
buttons. I have one of those also.
yeah, and
I just tried once.
this one here is the Chinese generic version of that I actually did try, and it
You have a touch screen and
it didn't work well, right? So I bought the other one, and I never messed with it. Because I think that was about the same time that I was starting to get into the M5 stack stuff that had
Okay.
the screen already built into it.
Yeah.
So much stuff. There's just stuff. And now I can't get it back in the box. Get back in there. Look at this. Remember those Tinker Kit LCDs?
Oh, yeah.
I've got 6 or 7 of those. These have all been reflashed because they never wanted to work right. They've got a Leonardo processor on them.
Okay.
They never wanted to work right, so I reflashed them with something, and now they work. Brand new OLEDs, never used. It's sad just how much stuff is in these boxes. It's equally sad that one microcontroller like this has taken up, taken the replacement of so many other devices, external devices. These are, it's a little like 1 inch, not even a 1 inch. It's a little tiny OLED. I've got 9 of them for the D1 minis.
Okay.
Those fit on the D1 minis.
Cheaper by the dozen?
It was one of those deals that the D1 mini was the ESP 8266. And of course, those came out before the 32s. So I was, I had gotten completely attached to the 8266. And then when the 32s came out, I went, oh, I'm not going to use 8266s anymore. Because the 32s were only a few dollars more expensive than that, and so much better processors.
Yeah.
So I had bought a bunch of those displays though, because I probably got, I know there's 40 D1 minis in a box somewhere. And they're still useful, but I don't use them anymore.
You can buy the ESP 8266 for 64 bucks. They are very cheap now in eBay. Free shipping.
Yep.
Yep.
How much are they?
$4.64. Free shipping.
There's the D1 minis.
Yep.
Yep.
But this is the
Those are what they called the node MCUs.
yeah, no MCU, yeah. You have more pins here, I think. This is Arduino format. Is the ESP 8266. Shipping. 3 pieces for $8.50.
Yeah.
Really cheap. 5 pack for 20 bucks. Free shipping from China. This is the not MCU. It's like a 5-stack stuff. Wi-Fi ready. So you will put a tag reader under the robot, right? And move the robot over your
Yes.
stuff.
I thought that I had one that was in this same basic format here. So I was going to probably have it laying out in front
Okay.
like that, but there's really not a whole lot of clearance room underneath this robot.
Not
It
room
might
to
be.
put
I might
the
be able
sensor on the bottom.
might be able to mount it down there, but it's going to be awful close.
Yeah.
So I thought I would just
drag.
print 3D print thing to hold it in place like that. But
What about using a camera and April tags or something printed in your vinyl, you know, April tags in every square,
mm-hmm.
and you have a camera looking down in front of your robot, searching for the tags, or
Yeah,
something like that.
there's a bunch of different. Yeah, I do have those cameras.
But
I
you
don't
need to
use.
you need to print a new. Or you can use your printer and paper
Yeah.
sticks, some glue and paper, just for testing.
Yeah.
Is there any way to mount the wheels and motors lower so that you have more clearance underneath it?
On this, No. It's pretty much the way it is.
You have a space between the motors? No.
Barely. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty tight.
it's pretty tight. Might be able to get, if I was using this kind of tag, maybe get it under there. But if I'm using the one that like Vicente has, there's no way that's fitting under there.
Mhm.
The size is,
Yeah, that's not fitting under there. That's about the same size as the tag itself, right?
square, but I think it's an inch and a half or so, right? The side.
See that?
Yeah.
No, no,
It's not fitting under there.
no. No, the red bar is bigger than the tag.
Yeah,
Forget
And
that.
the tag's not going under there.
Yeah.
But this, which I thought that I had bought one, it might just barely fit, but I don't really know how I would attach it.
Mhm.
It's pretty close. I mean, it's a lot closer than it looks on the video. So I was thinking, if it was out here flat right in the front of it, it might work better. But now that I saw this unit here for $5 and it does the reading and the writing,
Wow, okay.
I want this unit, but they're out of stock. I can't buy it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I bought one. Pretty sure I've got one of the ones that just said RFID on it. I can't find it though.
Look this, I think this people is doing something like that. RFID workshop on robot navigation
Mhm.
using, okay.
Okay. Well, they took my idea.
Yeah, so they using cars. Go to 220001 02 12.
Yep.
Okay, this is stuck.
They've
It must have a compass to know the direction.
yeah. They've made it so that it doesn't really care about its orientation either.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Okay. Just for you to know.
I'm sure.
There is another one. This is with the stickers, I think. This is
That's
yours.
mine.
Yeah. You have audio? No.
You've got your headphones on. We probably can't hear it.
Yeah. You hear?
That one's mine.
Using a two-wheel robot. And a RFID RC 522 reader. I've got that on the bottom of the robot. The IR sensors aren't being used for anything. The ultrasonic stuff.
You have audio? No.
So that was a pretty small board too. But the robot's way bigger than that board. So there's a little keypad on it, and I type in where I want it to go.
Okay.
So is that the sensor out in front?
No, that's IR sensors for line following.
Oh, okay.
This was one of Ray's early robots too. I don't know what I'm trying to explain. That was 5 years ago.
Yeah. Let me check another. This is yours also? Yeah.
Yep.
Navigation.
See, I think that first one that you were showing was an early version because I kept having to correct it with my hands. And the updated version was using the compass.
This one is with the compass.
I'm pretty sure that one's got the
Yeah, yeah,
compass. Yeah. And I think that one was after we talked too, and I moved the sensor more center.
Mhm.
But the compass is up on top, up on that tall stack.
Meaning up above the keypad?
Yeah, there's a tall stack that you really can't see. The compass was very sensitive to magnetic fields from the motors.
So you had to get it away from the motors, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Ding dong. My board was too small.
Yeah. It's trying to kill itself. Okay.
It was working. I took that all apart though. See this stack on the back where my hand is? That's where the compass is.
Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
There it goes.
so it's up on that white column then? Is
Yeah.
that where okay.
It's just foam board. I just cut up a bunch of foam board and stuck it up there. I ended up using Arduino had a official robot that they made,
Uh-huh.
and it had a compass for moving. I ended up using their code for my compass because it worked.
Okay, you have no sound, right? If you share it, you will have sound for everyone or no? No way.
I don't know.
It's a pity that we don't have sound to share.
Talking about on the YouTube video he was showing?
Yes, yeah, YouTube video. I can hear, but there's no way you hear it.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
I
asked
hear
him if
Careflight.
there is a way to share the sound.
Careflight's flying overhead.
Maybe if I change my device, my recording
Holy
device.
cow.
What's the matter?
Mm,
Excuse me.
It's very loud. I can't hear it. Can you hear it?
no.
Nope, not at all.
Star Wars. There is the compass.
That was using the compass to make it move in a straight line. But you can't hear the audio either, so
Can you hear the audio, Leroy?
it was very, very loud.
Oh, okay.
It was so loud I couldn't hear you guys.
Okay.
I'll put links in the forum to those two videos.
Okay.
That idea actually came from, I was watching an industrial robot. University was doing something with an industrial robot, and they were actually using Mecum wheels to do it. And I said, well, why can't I do that with a two-wheeled robot? Because at the time I didn't have anything that had Mecum wheels.
Okay.
And that's what they were doing, though. They had RFID embedded in the floor at the university so they could send it anywhere in that building.
Okay.
So somewhere there is a video of that, and I will see if I can hunt that up. And that was where I got the idea from, though. And mine never was great. My grid was too small. See, I've got a grid that's I've got a grid too small now. That it might actually work well for that, though. That's a small robot. So
This is inside Amazon warehouse.
Yeah. That's the technique they use. They've got the grid embedded in the
in the floor.
in
Yeah.
the floor, yeah.
See
Of
this,
course, their budget is a little different than yours there, Leroy.
this is the Amazon one smart warehouse from Amazon.
Yeah,
Robots are moving stuff using tags in the floor.
Now, are they actually using RFID to do it?
I don't know.
Or
You
is
see
that-
like white spots in the floor?
Yeah.
Check. You need to suffer the app. I know this.
Hey,
Let me move forward.
yeah. I thought they were using Arucos to do it.
I don't know. They bought the company that made the robots, and now the company belongs to Amazon.
yep. And
Too
then
much,
they, and then
too much
they,
buying power.
Yeah.
well, then they stopped servicing their competitors like Walmart and so forth and so on.
That Kroger warehouse in Monroe.
You see this? There are like Aruco marks in the floor.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
You see here?
That's what I thought they were using Arucos, not
Yeah.
RFID.
Or April tags, the same.
But that new warehouse in Monroe that Kroger owns, they've got something like that.
The good thing about the Arucos is that you know the orientation of the mark, so
Right.
you can correct your heading to align the robot with the Aruco mark in the floor
So
very easily.
Arucos may actually be better to do than RFID.
Yeah. But you
But-
need to keep the floor clean, you know.
Right. You might be right though. Doing it with with some sort of camera system in Arucos might be a better idea.
So
Look at
the
the
camera
floor.
then,
You see the floor?
the camera then reads something off the floor. Is that the way it works?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've on the
Look
front of these
here,
things, they've
here.
got cameras.
You see here? But maybe they have also cameras inside the robot in the center
Yeah.
to align the robot with the mark completely, direction and position. So you have a very precise location.
And Arucos, well, probably not for what they're doing, but Arucos would be cheap to print. I mean,
Yeah.
you could just print them.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing
They've got
is, though,
some
you get anything
barcode scanner.
You get anything on the floor though that obliterates the view, then it doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, maybe they've got both. Maybe it's an Aruku marker that there's the camera, you can see it. But
Yeah.
maybe they've got the Aruku marker that the camera sees and the RFID tag that gets read underneath. Like a failsafe, like if one gets rubbed off or something.
They have 800 robots inside this facility. Huge.
I found the video.
Yeah.
Um,
Share it.
Sure.
You're gonna post it.
I will post it as well, but I found it. This was
Oh, okay. This is
loud.
German.
Wow.
Mhm.
just music. They're not saying anything anyway. So they've got RFID tags embedded in the floor of this building.
It's a huge on the wheel. I never see something so big.
So right there, they show where all the tags are.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed they are not using the consumer grade tags. They are using industrial grade tags.
You know what I mean? They don't use the 14 cents a piece tags.
Almost guaranteed.
I
But
think the
watch-
wheels are cool.
Watch this thing. Here they explain a little bit about what they're trying to do. But watch this thing. They're going to get it spinning here in a second. And it will still be able to figure out its orientation and come back and go where it needs to go. These Meckham wheels they're just some of the coolest things.
I'm gonna request my overtime now. You're gonna sign my time sheet?
Are we overtime again? See,
Yeah.
that happens when
I
When
wasn't
I'm
talking
home.
that time. Can't blame me. I wasn't talking.
that happens when we're at home. All right. Patty wants to go get groceries tonight anyway, so I guess it's time to go.
All right.
I will post
too
the
much,
video
gentlemen.
and I will post links to all kinds of stuff in the forums. And
Okay, take care.
Oh. hopefully we'll see everybody next week.
Yeah,
Bye.
everybody be
Thank
well.
you.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
And bye bonds.